Alright guys, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've never done anything stupid in my life, but the compounding decisions here is really frightening. So if you don't know who these people are, they're the Dobre twins. There's actually 4 brothers, and they have 26 million subscribers on their main account, with another account amassing almost 11 million. And to absolutely nobody's surprise, their content is mainly geared towards kids, with titles like, "We caught the creepy grandma," "Our little sister threw up on a roller coaster," "Creepy grandma stole my Ferrari," "Can we escape the water chamber?" "Reuniting with my ex-girlfriend, and this is what happened." "We unmask the intruder." "Intruder invades our swimming pool." "Our first time." You get the point. Very clickbaity and very obviously geared to attract a younger audience to the channel. They mostly do pranks that are obviously fake and challenges. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this video they just posted. I crashed. Now, we all have done dumb things in our lives, but I highly doubt we've reached these levels of incomprehension. The pure negligence is astounding, and the fact that they decided to edit it, pose for a thumbnail, and post it online is just a great example of why I dislike these family channels so much. So now we're going to go step by step and analyze the video, and I'm just going to point out a couple things while we watch it. Alright, so obviously right off the bat, we're starting out with the biggest cap I've ever seen in my life. No professional would have ever let you do this, because it is so idiotic, it's beyond words.
Where the racing gloves at? Oh, you do have them. Always prepared.
Good call, because you never know what could happen.
I couldn't help myself. I thought that would be too funny. Yeah, so you never know what can happen. Better wear the racing gloves. I don't want to spoil too much, but like, you're not a professional. You don't have a professional there. Racing gloves aren't going to help you when you can't control the car.
And in these, if something happens, something slips, the grip on these, feel that.
Dang. Alright.
Alright, so they're gonna start right when I start. Well, right when I take off? Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Alright, so first of all, where are we? In the middle of nowhere. There's cement on either side, and it used to be like a drag strip maybe, but there's nobody there to put out a fire. Dude is literally standing on the track while this guy who's not a professional is flying by. You could literally get probably a better point of view if you just stood on the barrier, behind the barrier. 10 feet behind the barrier would be ideal, but who on earth would actually stand on the track? Like, the lack of regard for your own safety or for other people's safety is crazy. And that's why I'm saying 100% no professional was present that day. They simply would not allow you to do any of what you're doing. Literally nothing. First of all, if you took it to a track, you would probably need a roll cage and a helmet. And that's probably why they didn't actually go to an official track. Because if you run past a certain speed, you need those things and a bunch of other things I don't even know about. I'm just a guy on YouTube. To follow that up, the track's not even maintained either. Maybe they went through and drove slowly, which I highly doubt they did. Made sure there's no objects there, sand, any of that shit. No, it's just an unmaintained track.
Oh, he's doing a slow turnaround.
Yeah, I don't really think there's a fast turnaround unless you're planning on Tokyo drifting it and then slamming it back the other way around.
I couldn't see the cones. We went too fast.
Okay, yeah, as I watch a little bit more, that's probably what they plan to do, because he immediately goes and starts driving the other direction. So I think it was not a quarter mile. It was a, let's see how fast we can drive to the other end, turn around, and come back. And that's why he didn't slow down on the way back, because he was trying to get the best time possible. And because he didn't Tokyo drift it on the other end, he was trying to make up time by braking as late as possible on his way back.
I couldn't see the cones.
You know what I do anytime I have super low visibility? I just drive as fast as possible in the opposite direction. Like, that seems like a really smart thing to do. If you didn't see the cones on the other way round, surely you'll see the cones on this way round. Alright, let's count the seconds here after he says you're going too fast before we get a sense of braking.
You're going too fast.
Alright, so I tried to be as fair as possible, and I got 5 seconds and 13 milliseconds. Now, let's say my reaction time's bad, I messed up, on exactly when to start and when to stop it. We can just say 5 seconds. I think that's more than fair, considering in editing I can slow it down frame by frame. So you had 5 seconds from the end of the sentence, you're going too fast. Now, if it was me and somebody started to say the sentence, you're going too fast, about halfway through the sentence, I would go, am I going too fast? Maybe like 1 second later, I'd go, yeah, I'm probably going too fast, and I'd start braking. So that gives them at least, 4 to 4.5 seconds to decide he's going too fast. But clearly, getting a good time is more important than everyone else's safety. Now, if this exact same situation happened at a track, like an enclosed track, and people weren't standing on the road and nobody was in harm's way, you can only kind of harm yourself, I would have zero issue with them doing this. Even recording it, even posting a picture like, oh, you know what, I crashed, that would be fine. That's pretty normal. But these millionaires thought, you know what, let's cut every corner possible, let's remove every safety precaution, and let's film a video where, I drive down the end of the runway, swirl around Tokyo Drift style, and just fly back the other direction, like with no thought of anybody else's well-being or if it was even a good idea in the first place. Alright, so right now we have an unprofessional driver braking really hard, and there's a person standing in the same lane he's trying to brake from. Flies through a really narrow section of concrete and his friends across a road. Now, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe this is not a public road. Maybe it's a road that leads to the track. I think that's way more reasonable. I mean, track, if you want to call it a track. But it still just conveys that you have no control over the car at all. Goes in, smokes the fence, and that pretty much stops all momentum. Because he had a decent amount of momentum up until that point. Thank God, everyone's okay, because the car's ABS system is excellent to be able to brake in a straight line like that and not, slide out from under you is crazy. Sheer dumb luck, right? Just placement of objects. He had no control over the car, therefore, if there was an object in the way, a person, zero chance he'd be able to avoid them. I hadn't even really considered this, but the fact that he keeps the camera, it's an iPhone, he keeps the iPhone steady and pointed towards the car the whole time. I gotta respect the man's game. It's pretty impressive. Alright, so I just want to point out, so if this did happen, let's say there is a professional present, you would imagine that the professional would come and handle business, right? He'd come over there and he'd be like, everybody stay calm, don't move, is your neck broken, you good, any injuries, okay, we're gonna call the ambulance anyways, do some professional shit. I don't see a guy doing that. I don't see a guy directing anything. Makes you wonder, who's the professional that's present? That guy needs to be, reported and fired for such a terrible job.
I was way too late.
Oh, guys, I slipped into a dirt patch. Well, nobody's injured. That's good, except for this metal fence and my right side mirror.
And the fact that he is such a coward to not admit his own mistakes and be like, you know what, yeah, that was my fault. Oh, yeah, guys, I slipped into a dirt patch and decided to accelerate for another 5 seconds before, braking. Yeah, that happened. Or, even if he said, okay, well, after that 5 seconds of accelerating, then I started braking and then I slid into a dirt patch, still your fault because you didn't inspect the track, and it would be the most accessible portion of the track to assess. So either way, it's your fault, man. Just accept that it's your fault. It's okay to do dumb things sometimes, but accountability is what's going to make you learn from your mistakes, not making up stories about dirt patches.
Christian, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm not stopping. You good?
Oh, for a second there, I thought he wasn't going to ask the passenger, or actually anybody was going to ask the passenger if they're okay. The cameraman. Like, come on. He's like, not as important as us, right?
This is crazy, bro.
Bro, this is, I mean, things like this happen as long as Darius is safe, you know?
Okay.
That's all that really matters.
Ryan,
Like,
the owner of the track. Yeah. Okay, cool. What do we have to call him for?
It's leaking.
Yeah, we'll call him. We got the whole video of you crashing. You do? Yeah.
All right, I want you guys to pay attention to the right side of the screen. What's behind the wood fence?
Here he comes.
You're going too fast.
Oh, no! No!
Cars. There's cars behind the wood fence. So if the metal fence wasn't there to slow him down, what fence would have slowed him down? The wood fence. Would the wood fence have stopped him? I don't know. Maybe. It really depends on how well the fence was actually built. But potentially, if there's no metal fence there, he goes flying into the wood fence, flying onto a public road, and then he's affecting other people. Alright, so obviously we can see from this angle, the wood fence is a joke. It's faced towards the other direction too, so if he comes and he hits it from behind, you know, all the nails are faced that one direction, so we're screws, I guess, but still, you're going flying through that fence just because of the way that it's faced and how close it is to the actual metal fence.
If we went through this, we probably would not be here right now.
Yeah, babe. We were doing a video and I braked too early and there was a wet patch, and I just crashed my Lamborghini into a metal fence. And I mean, luckily everyone was safe, but the car is damaged. So
Well, you're safe, you're alive, thank God.
it just sucks. It's just another thing, and like I did not see that water or dirt patch. Like I'll see you when I get home. All right, honey. I'm glad you're okay, Christian.
Yeah,
like
of course, man. You're a good driver. You saved us, man. It would have been
yeah.
100 times worse. We wouldn't be here today if you didn't do the right call.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to give him too much credit here, because literally half a meter to his left, there's a railing that very easily could have went through the windshield and impaled someone. So I'm going to credit the car on this one more than the driver here. I think that's pretty obvious, but for whatever reason, he seems to think he's some Formula 1 driver. Not really sure how he got that confidence, but I don't know. Somebody's got to tell him the reality of the situation here, or he's just going to do it again.
Man, that was wild, bro. Like, if that would have happened any different way, if you were not a good driver like you are, it could have been worse, but you did it the right way at the end. That was crazy, man.
I'm just happy to be alive, and it goes to show we always say drive safe. Guys, remember, there's different types of things on the road that you don't have control of, all right? Friction can be lost at any second, and that's what happened to me. Slipped on some water, slipped on some dirt. I guess I may have braked in a little late, and but you know, with the skills that I've learned through multiple classes, I knew how to handle the situation and avoid it at all costs. And we just kind of hit a gate that was already broken. That's it.
Exactly, man. I just hit a gate that is basically falling down, nature and shit, right? Like, it would have eventually fell down or rusted, right? Like, not a big deal, if you ask me. No, but just like the lack of personal accountability is just, that's the part that bugs me, right? You put your friends and your family's life in danger because you're being extremely reckless. Like, they're standing on the road, you're obviously not a professional, and you're not wearing the proper gear, you're not in the proper environment. It's just so careless. I really hope they learn from this, but just the way that they handled it and, how they edited the video, I really don't think they learned anything from this. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, guys, but come on, like, all the stuff they've done on their channel in the past, like faking the death of their brother, or like doing these weird pranks that are like psychologically damaging to children, I don't know. Not a fan. Alright, now I want you guys to guess what comes next in the video. I'm going to give you a couple options. Multiple choice, you pick one and see if you're right. Option 1, a motivational speech from one of the Dobre twins. Option 2, another Dobre twin actually crashes his car in the same spot. Option 3, the whole video is a prank. They actually meant to crash the car, and they're doing a giveaway. And the final option, they tell you to subscribe to my channel. I'll give you about 5 seconds to lock in your answer. If you guessed a motivational speech You are correct. Congratulations. I have nothing to give you, but you can feel good about yourself for the rest of the day, I suppose.
Dude, I'm just happy that we're okay. Like, guys, this is the perfect example of why safety is key. No matter what you do in life, what decisions you make, think before you take that action, whether it's speeding, whether it's doing drugs, whether it's doing something illegal, getting into a fight. Like, it's not worth it. You only live once, okay? So make this one life you have on earth worth it. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, you're here for a purpose. Make it worthwhile. Help others, spread good energy. And I mean, I hope this is a good lesson for all the drivers out there. Because a lot of people might think they're the best driver, but hey, there's always someone better. Not that I thought I was the best driver or anything, but you know.
Wow. I'm inspired. Hopefully you are too. Thank you for checking out the video, guys. That's pretty much all I got. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.